Good afternoon, welcome to my channel. I am back again because unexpectedly I wrote another story. When I say unexpectedly, I mean I didn't really know that I was going to write one so quickly after the previous one, but found myself inspired. I was in Richmond, it was a lovely day, and I was between engagements, and I decided to go down by the river to a nice pub called the White Cross. Very well recommended if you're in the area. And just found myself coming up with another idea based on 5 random words, as ever. Before I read this, if any of you are watching and enjoying this channel, and you're not a subscriber, there's a bottom, there's not a bottom, that's rude. There's a button at the bottom of the screen which says subscribe. Just click on that. All that means is, if you're on YouTube, in your sort of recommended for you section, you'll see my latest videos. That's about all it means, but it does immense things for the success of a channel, so please do that. Anyway, so this is based on 5 random words, as ever, and the words that textfixer.com gave me for this occasion were and it's kind of a companion piece to the last story I wrote. So this is number 135, and it's called Ambiguity. Why am I applying forensic scrutiny to the way this man is sitting on the bench beside me? This 30-something man whose veiny left hand has recently been scarred by what I imagine was the uncharacteristic slip of an awl in an attic workshop illuminated by a shaft of light caught in a swirl of sawdust. Because I'm a 39-year-old single mother separated from her abusive millionaire husband who has secured 50-50 custody of a child he only brought into being as a pawn to entrap me in a psychotic mutual dependency, and I'm beckoning towards the bright light of my next misguided saviour. That's what my therapist would probably say. I should change my therapist. I reckon it'll take 6 to 8 days to lay the foundations, maybe a couple of weeks for the plumbing and electrics, same for the walls, week for the roof, couple for the fittings and finish, a few days for the landscaping, bit of overage, you know, things go wrong. He stresses this last phrase like it's a famous quotation, and I kind of adore him for it. I can tell he's just a simple, caring, practical, physical, deeply sexual kind of man, the polar opposite of my bastard ex-husband. You should allow 10 weeks, he finishes. What he means is that I'll be paying him and his team for 10 weeks' work to extend the stables so we can aboard another dozen horses. And that's not including consultancy charge, surveyor's fees, VAT, and more. It's going to eat up most of my savings, but hey, you've got to speculate to accumulate, haven't you? I haven't had sex in almost a year, and I'm now behaving like my male friends tell me they do. I'm imagining Bryce Colquhoun naked. He has a tiny bit of belly fat, but is otherwise lean and trim with broad shoulders, muscular arms, and seemingly no visible tattoos, which is something we'll have to do something about. I have 7. I can even see the slight bulge of what romance novels might term his manhood, resting lightly against his thigh through his jeans. What would he do if I just reached out now and gave it a stroke, like the neck of a puppy? If free will exists, I could literally do that. I'm blushing, and I really hope the dim, late afternoon shade is disguising my embarrassment. I also realise I've not listened at all to what Bryce has just been telling me about the various options for tiling. Oh, just send me some references and I'll make a decision on that by the end of the week, I bluff. He looks surprised and I panic a bit, then he nods judiciously. Fair enough. It's not super urgent. I'll get my partner to email over some links. My partner. Business or romantic or both? I'll look out for his email. My deliberate assumption doesn't produce a correction, which could mean his business partner is a woman or his life partner is a man. Or he just can't be bothered educating me. Bloody hell, I remember this neurotic compulsion from the last time I was dating, 15 years ago. Before I had my son, then ran away from my abusive, drunken bum of a husband in the middle of the night. So why did he elect to sit on the bench beside me instead of on the chair opposite? I'll get him to put the estimate down in writing too. Him. Okay, that narrows it down. Bryce is wearing some ethnic jewellery, a couple of beaded and leather wristbands, like those you might pick up at Glastonbury. No wedding ring, but that means precious little these days. He has one ear pierced, with some sort of octagonal stud in it. Bryce's flouncy white shirt is open, 2 buttons to reveal a suspiciously smooth chest, and his greying red beard is very well groomed. However, I don't have a very good gaydar, as my best friend Mel had recently pointed out, especially when I tried to chat up her flatmate Connor last week. Connor, it transpired, is in a throuple with 2 other men. I clear my throat, realising that I've not spoken for some time, and that Bryce has resorted to more small talk, having exhausted his business patter. We've got a new batch of cider that could really do with being drunk, I begin. I could really do with being drunk. My cheeks are now as red as our orchard's apples. Is that right? Rye smile, denoting coy interest? Or is he just being polite? The sun has now dipped below the tree canopy and has found the sliver of sky between the forest and the top of the old wall that encircles the small stables I bought with my ex's settlement. It's dazzling me as I squint in Bryce's general direction. I shouldn't, he mutters. You know. Bryce mimes driving, in that comedic way everyone does, by wiggling an imaginary wheel from side to side. To be honest, that's probably how he would drive if he had more than 1 pint of our homebrew. A half couldn't hurt, as you've come all this way. A full 20-minute drive from Salisbury. It's hardly the heart of the Serengeti. Cider's not really my thing. I have white wine in the fridge and a half-open case of Guinness under the stairs. I want to scream at him. Why must men be so obtuse? Did you really brew it yourself? He asks. What is he saying? Is he fishing now? I really hope so. James did try to contribute, but given he's only 5, he's only of limited help. Oh no, I didn't. Bryce's words tail away. Then he does a funny little nod to himself. I add this to my mental list of favourite Bryce quirks. You know what? Maybe I will try it. It hits me. I've been ambiguous too. I said, we've got a new batch of cider. Why can't we just be honest with one another? Why must we do this serpentine shimmy? How exactly would it go if we just cut to the chase, I wonder? Look, can you just tell me if you're single? Or maybe you're not single, but tonight it doesn't matter that much to you. Do you want to come in for a couple of pints of dubious homebrewed cider, a fumble on the sofa, and then maybe some middling sex? Let's face it, it's never great the first time with someone new. Couldn't you at least leave your van here tonight and drive back tomorrow? Wrap your big muscular arms around me, cup one of my breasts in one of your big veiny hands and snore on the back of my neck until the morning. James is with his dad for the next 2 days. There'll be no awkward questions in the morning. I haven't had sex in 11 months and 17 days. I can say none of these things. Go on, you know you want to. It's as daring as I can manage. He rubs his hand over his face, smiling between his fingers. We both know what's really going on, but we have to dance the dance. It's kind of sweet in a way. We're not animals. There are protocols to observe. Sure. What harm can it do? Exactly, I think, trying not to delightedly squeal. What possible harm? There you go. A slightly more optimistic story than my previous one, but also about romantic assignations, dating, and the complexities of adult life. Yeah, if you enjoyed that, please tell me. Make a comment. Nobody makes a comment. It'd be nice if someone did. And as I say, subscribe and maybe even share this with friends if you found it entertaining. There are 135 other stories on this channel. Something like that. And there's quite a few little how-to videos and musings about the art of short story writing. I'll probably come up with another one quite soon. And until then, farewell!